Hi there guys, and welcome to another episode. And this is the last episode before we leave. So this is going out on Sunday. Now this is the week before, the weekend before, but this is Sunday this film's going out, and that means that tomorrow we leave. It also means that all of that has to go into there. So we've got all of our pack here. This is what I think we're going to take with us. Like I say, we've still got a week, so things could change before then, but we're going to get all of that stuff into that little Fiesta. So we're going to go through all the stuff that I've got with me. We're going to put it in the car, so like I say, we've got a week before we leave, but we're just going to make sure that we fit. Now, as I'm going through this, I really would like anybody else's comments if there's anything else you think that we should have with us for going on a trip through Europe. I know there's certain things we need to have with us to go through Europe. I know there's certain things that we need to have when we get to England, but I'll go through them as we go. And I've also got a few things that hopefully I won't need, but you never know. If the worst does come to the worst, I don't need to fix the car on the journey. I've got a certain amount of tools with me, but I'm not planning on it, to be honest. So we've got everything there, and that's all going to go into that car now. Now we're going to try and test load it to start with, make sure that everything fits in the car. Once we've done that, we're obviously going to get everything back out of the car because it's going to be a week until we leave, and we're going to use the car during the week. And as we unpack it, I can go through what it is we put in the car so that you all know what we've got, and any suggestions, pop a comment down below.
Everything's so right. Turn off your phone and off your mind. Look at you so bright. 멈출 수 없어 지금이야. Oh, I'll take you to the moon. Come on up, enjoy your ride. Oh, I'll take you to the moon. Just be ready to enjoy your night.
Well, I have to say that went better than what I thought it would. The boot is nicely tightly packed, as you can see, and there's not a lot of space left over, but it fits. The back seat still got room left, actually. I'm not going to say that to Mrs. the mechanic though, because if she finds a hole she'll put things in it, but that worked really well. I'm quite surprised. So we've added a little bit more stuff already. We've got a couple of chairs here, they're like camping chairs that we can have with us at shows or if we stop at the side of the road, and there's some other bits here that my parents have requested from Sweden. So I'm quite happy with how much we've got in the boot of this car, and yeah, I think we're going to be all right with what we've got. We can actually even move, we have tried moving this lot over to that side of the car, and it gives us a space there, so we've still got room. We've still got room if Mrs. the mechanic wants to buy anything, but I'm not going to make a big deal about it. So don't say anything. So yeah, I can now lift out the stuff. So I'm going to start off with the stuff that's not really that important. So we've got a bag there that's got clothes in it. We've got another couple of bags here that's got clothes in it. So I can lift them two out, and then I'll go through the rest of the stuff that we've got in here. So one of the things we've got with us is this fantastic bag sent by the beautiful people at Auto Finesse. So they've sent me a bucket so that I can wash the car, and they've sent me a load of cleaning products in here. So all along the journey we can stop, hopefully my plan is to stop kind of each night and make sure the car's nice and clean for the day after. It also means before we go to Ford Fair we can clean the car properly before we go, and when we get there we can get another little clean after she's been down the motorways to Silverstone. So this is an amazing little kit that we've got here with loads of stuff inside there for doing, keep the whole car beautifully clean all the journey, there and back, and then obviously at Silverstone. So massive thank you to the people at Auto Finesse for sending me that bag. It's going to be really, really useful, so I'm looking forward to using that. I've already used some of the products before I've been to a car show, and they do a fantastic job. It's absolutely brilliant stuff. I love it. So that's one of the main important things after our clothes, I think. Next up, we've got a spare fuel tank in the car. Now this is a mini jerry can. It's a really cool little jerry can. It's only 10 litres, but I think that's really cool. It's a little tiny one. And as the car only takes 34 litres to full tank, this is about a quarter of a tank here. So we'll have that in the boot, and we'll use it, and we've got the pipe for it and everything. So if we need to, we'll use it. If not, we've just got a spare can of petrol with us, and it'll get used at some point. But we don't know where the petrol stations are along the road. We're going to try and plan the stops every day so we know where we're going to fill up with fuel. And if we don't, then we've got a spare can. If we know that we're not going to get near a petrol station, we've got some extra fuel with us. So that's going to be a really, really vital piece of kit with us. And that's pretty much everything that we had in the boot apart from clothing. Now, what's left is everything that's under the boot floor. So I'm going to pull the floor panels out and we'll have a look what's underneath there. Now, one of the things I didn't show before, this is a kit that Mrs. the mechanic bought for me, I think it's about a year ago or 2 years ago, something like that, for Christmas. And it's basically a battery pack. So I'm going to have this with me. I'm going to charge it. And if I do need to jump the battery, then I've got this thing with me. Really, really useful bit of kit. So I'm going to charge that up and we'll have that with us. If something were to happen overnight, drain the battery for whatever reason, then I've got a starter kit. It is, I think it says there, 40,000 milliamps of power, 12 volts. So it's a really good auxiliary starter, and I think that if we do get problems, that's going to be a really good kit to have. So that's here, and that we've had just hidden in the side there, fitted really, really nicely in there. Now, you will have seen these pieces in the car, and I haven't shown these before, but I made them not long ago. So you've got a base plate here, and you've got a top piece here. So I've got a sign, written at the moment in Swedish. So whenever I stop somewhere, I've got a pole that goes in between these two pieces, and I can drive the front wheel over that nice plate there, and it's got a nice little sign at the side of the car. So I've got new signs made up in English, so I can bring that with me. So wherever I stop at a Ford show or wherever I stop at a show, I've got the little information about the car and the journey and everything there so that people can read that. So that's one of the things I made up, powder coated it obviously. So that's going with me. Right, so we can have a look under the floor then, see what we've got under there. Right, so we'll start off there then. I've been out and bought a proper zetec charger. So as well as the booster pack, I've also got a zetec charger. So if anything should happen and the battery needs a proper charge, then I've got a proper charger with it. Probably won't even use that, but it's good to have in the car anyway. Now I did manage to put together some tools. I was trying to work out what I actually need, and I don't think I'm going to need a massive amount of tools because I'm not going to be doing a massive amount of work on the side of the road. If something, I'm not going to be changing the clutch, for example, or I'm not going to be changing the cam belt or anything like that at the side of the road. If something like that doesn't need changing for any particular weird reason, then I'd have to take it to a garage anyway. So the main things that I need and that I thought about would be something like that, a compressor and some tyre spray. So this is the stuff that you put inside the valve to stop punctures, because that's kind of the sort of thing I'm thinking I might need at the side of the road. So put that in it, temporary fix, get me off the road, get me to a workshop and get the tyre replaced. So it's only a temporary thing. I did buy this little compressor and I'm really impressed by how small it is. It's a tiny little thing, and it's got everything I need on it to fill the car up, and obviously it runs off the cigarette lighter in the car as well. So nice little compact tiny charger in there as well, so I do like that one. Some wipes, need to wipe our hands, get dirty, got that, always good. And then, as I say, I was looking at what kind of tools am I going to use, what kind of jobs am I going to be doing at the side of the road. And like I say, it's not going to be massive huge jobs. It's going to be perhaps tightening something up that's come loose, or that sort of thing is what I can think of. I'm not going to be changing, like I say, clutches, wheel bearings, that sort of stuff. So I put together a basic toolkit, so a basic set of spanners, bits for screws and stuff like that. I do actually have a replacement coil. We all know what coils are like on these engines. They do tend to burn out, so I've got a replacement one. The one that's on the car is already new, but I had one lying around, so I thought I might as well put it in the car. Multimeter, again, if I do get an electrical fault, then at least I can find it and try and find out what's wrong with it and hopefully fix it. So I've got a multimeter with me. I know a lot of people don't like adjustable wrenches, but in the sort of scenario that I might need an extra spanner, and rather than having two sets of spanners, I'll take one adjustable. All sorts of pliers, screwdriver for hose clamps, that sort of thing. I've got socket sets, 3/8 quarter drive of sockets, just a basic set. Some extension bars for them. Tow rope, if the worst does come to the worst and somebody needs to drag me off the side of the road, I've got that. A set of Allen keys, because you never know. A torch, I bought this torch. I did buy this torch and I'm quite impressed with it. It's a tiny little thing. It's not big. It's got a hook on the bottom, so you can hang it up somewhere. It's also got a magnetic base, so you can stick it to things. And it does pull out like that. And it's got, I think it's got 3 or 4 different settings on it. So you can either have that light on, and I think it's got another one somewhere else. There, it's got another light on there. So it's a cheap little light to be able to use if the worst comes to the worst. If the worst comes to the worst, then this can actually be put at the side of the road, at the back of the car, to illuminate that we are stood at the side of the road. So that's kind of dual purpose, and I think that was pretty good. And it's also rechargeable. It's USB, so you can just plug it in and charge it up. So nice little handy light, cheap. Another set of pliers, a funnel for the jerry can, nice little one. And again, as I say, I've got one of these telescopic ones. It's got a dual socket on there, so 17, 19 mil, so I can do that. And it's also extendable, so I can use it to take the wheels on and off if I need to get a puncture. Now, talking of taking the wheels on and off, I did realise the other day that I took the spare wheel out of here and I want to be able to just fix a puncture, and that's about it. But I realised I need to lift the car up, don't I, if I'm going to change the tyre. I need a jack, and well, I don't really trust scissor jacks. So I went out and bought a little bottle jack, and it's a tiny little bottle jack, but it's still 2 tons, which is, well, twice what this car weighs and a bit more really. So I think that's going to be more than enough to lift this car up and do the work that I need on it, if I need to do anything at the side of the road, like changing a tyre, for example. So a nice little bottle jack, and that can live in the car, and it's quite small actually compared to a scissors jack, for example. It's quite small. Again, here, assortment of screwdrivers, spark plug socket that fits the Ford, wire stripper, cutter, crimp tool if I get into any electrical sort of problems, and a little socket set. Now, I do like this socket set. It's a Kamasa Tools one, but it comes with a little ratchet in it, and this is a little spanner that's also a ratchet spanner. So it comes with a bit on it there, so you can put sockets in it, or you can put screwdriver bits in it as well. So really handy little tool. I've used that loads, especially at like scrap yards and stuff, because it fits just about everything. That's a really handy tool. Set of gloves for me and Mrs. the mechanic if something would happen. And well, I did have a bag of cable ties, so I bought a bag of cable ties. Definitely won't be needing that many, but you know, cable ties, you never know, they're good for so many things. So bag of cable ties. That's pretty much it that I've got in the boot. So if there's anything, other tools that you think I should need, or anything else that I need, then let me know in the comments below, because I've still got a journey through Sweden where I can pick up extra things if I need them. If you think there's anything I need, then do let me know in the comments below, and I can get hold of stuff on the drive down through to Europe. But yeah, that's what we've got, and like I say, I'm quite surprised with how much I did actually get underneath the boot floor. It doesn't look a big space, but I got quite a lot in there. Right, so inside the car, what do we need inside the car? Well, one of the major things we're going to need inside the car, and it's pretty much law, I think, in France, is high-vis jackets, reflex jackets like these. From what I gather, it is compulsory to have them with you. Now, I saw a guy on TikTok mentioning these, that you need to have these with you, and the reason why you need to have them in the car. Now, I didn't know the reason why you had to have them in the car. When he explained it on TikTok, it made complete sense and totally agree with it. So the reason you need these is because if something happens in the car, you need to get out of the car and you need to have a reflective jacket on you. So you make sure you get a high-vis jacket. So they need to be inside the car here, so that within reach. So putting them in the boot of the car isn't okay. In fact, you get fined for it, from what I can gather, because you don't want to obviously jump out the car into traffic potentially and put a reflex jacket on once you're out in the traffic. So the idea is you put the reflex jacket on, or the high-vis jacket on, and then you get out the car. So they need to be in the car wherever anybody can reach them. So they can't be in the boot of the car. So they need to be, and mine are going to actually be on the back seat of the car. So there's one there for me, and there's one there for Mrs. the mechanic. Other things we need in the car, well, obviously phone chargers. I've got a double one here, so we can both run my phone and Mrs. the mechanic's phone. I've also fitted an extra set, so there's a couple there, one with an extra ordinary cigarette lighter socket, and the other one with a USB socket in there. So we've got plenty of charging points in here. Now, talking of charging points, why do we need that? Well, we can charge up things like batteries and stuff like that, but we can also charge up one other thing, and that's our phones. Now, as in most countries, it is illegal to use your phone while driving, so I have a hands-free holder in the car. We've also got, as you can see just there, the microphone. So the phones are connected to the stereo, so we've got hands-free within the car. So then I can use the phone in the car if needed. Very, very important to have that. Make sure you've got that if you're going anywhere. And I think that's about it really for the car. I'm not really sure if we need anything else in here. We don't have any air conditioning, so might be warm in here, but we'll just have to deal with that as we go along. But I think we're pretty much set up. So there's not really a lot else to do inside the car right now, apart from set off, really. Talking of setting off, obviously, we will be travelling through Europe. So we're leaving on Monday morning, travelling all the way through Sweden Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday we start going through the continent, and we're arriving somewhere Friday-ish sometime. Don't really know when, got nothing really planned. We didn't really want to plan too much on the way down because we want to enjoy the journey at the end of the day. So we've not booked any accommodation, we've not booked any trains, we've not booked anything really, because we don't want that pressure of having to get to a time. If we want to drive further one day, we can do. If we want to drive less one day, we can do that as well. But we don't want the stress of having to make sure we get to a certain place by a certain time. So I feel really happy about that, and that really is going to make a big difference, I think, to this journey, because it's a long, long journey. When we do get to England, we'll be going from Folkestone, so we'll be having breakfast hopefully on the beach at Folkestone on Saturday morning, and then sometime during Saturday we're going to drive up to AD Bright, because as you should know, there is the Fiesta meet, the 1, 2, 3 Fiesta breakfast at Herbie's Diner. If you're not already aware of it, then get yourself over there. If you have a Mark 1, a Mark 2 or a Mark 3 Fiesta, that's the 4th of August between 10 and 1. I'll be there, Mrs. the mechanic will be there, and Alice will be there. So make sure you get over there. Now, while I am over in England, one of the things that I wanted to do was remember this date, and I'm hoping that people will also want to remember that we are coming over for this long, 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 long journey. So what I've done is I've printed up a set of t-shirts that you can see on the screen now. They are obviously in Alice orange. Why else would you have that? They are to celebrate the journey of us getting from Sweden to Ford Fair. So those t-shirts are going to go on sale. I've bought 4 different sizes, so large, XL, XXL, XXL, so 3 X's, because I'm not really sure of the sizes, but I'm hoping they're going to fit anyway. but I've only bought 10 of each size, so there's 40 t-shirts. That's all I've bought. So they are a very, very, very limited edition t-shirt. So if you want to get your hands on them, I'll be selling them at the 123 meet, and I'll also be selling them at Ford Fair. So if you want them, send me a message. I'll be selling them for £18 each, and you can pick them up at the 123 Fair or at Ford Fair. So let me know what size you want and I can get you down the list, but there's only 10 of each size. So make sure you get your name down for one of those t-shirts. So if you like what you've seen in this video, please press subscribe. I will be documenting the journey. Hopefully I'll be posting daily onto my Instagram, so make sure you go in there and follow me on Instagram as well. I'll be trying to post Instagram and Facebook as much as possible, and hopefully I'll be doing one video of the journey down. There'll be one video of the Herbie's 123 meet. There'll be a video of Ford Fair, and hopefully a video home, and anything else we can find to do while we are in England. So if you've got something that you think that will be interesting to us, send me a message, put a comment down below, and we'll see what we can get in to the time we're over there as well. But we want to get as much done as possible. Mrs. the mechanic might want to get some shopping done, so if anybody knows of anything, keep it quiet. Let's not say anything. It's between just the two of us, okay? Good. And the next video will be from the 123 meet in England at Herbie's Diner. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next episode, and bye-bye.